Namaskar and good morning to everyone. Uh, this webinar today is on electoral literacy and it is in line with CBSE's commitment to promote civic engagement, democratic participation, and electoral literacy. The webinar aims to provide students with valuable insights into the electoral processes and their civic responsibilities, fostering a deeper understanding of democratic principles and active citizenship. We are joined with our distinguished resource person, Shri Umesh Sinha ji, Secretary CBSE, regional officers from 17 regions across the country, schools, all CBSE affiliated schools which are there across the country, and the students who are watching it live on the YouTube. To begin with, I welcome everyone for this program today, and I would like to introduce our speaker, the resource person, Shri Umesh Sinha ji. Although the words would fall short of all the achievements he has done throughout his career, but I would like to sum up in a few words, which, sir, if you may permit me. Mr. Umesh Sinha ji held the position of Secretary General of Election Commission of India since November 2019 till 30th June 2022. He joined Election Commission of India as a Senior Deputy Election Commissioner in the year 2014 and spearheaded the national and international outreach as well as formulating and implementing facilitation measures to ensure free, fair, and inclusive elections. His stint at ECI witnessed numerous interventions at national level, such as Integrated National Voter Service Portal, ETPBS for service voter, postal ballot facility for PWDs and senior citizens, setting up electoral literacy clubs, assured minimum facilities for voters on poll day, numerous apps to facilitate the voters, contestants, and election machinery, as well as launching ECI on various social media platforms. Under his guidance, Lok Sabha election 2019 was celebrated as Desh Ka Mahatyauhar, the biggest festival, and witnessed highest ever voter turnout and lowest ever gender gap in Lok Sabha elections. Not only this, during the pandemic also, Sir has done a lot for elections, for the processes. Following the COVID safety protocol guidelines, these were issued, and clear set of instructions to the states for safety of voter and election officials led to higher voter turnout even amidst pandemic. Launching the SWEEP, that stands for Systematic Voter Education and Electoral Participation, Election Planning, Observer, International Cooperation, and Administrative Divisions at ECI. He introduced several initiatives with an aim to spread awareness on elections and electoral processes, both national and at the international level. Mr. Sinha also held the charge as Executive Secretary, VoiceNet, and Advisor, India AWEB Center. He served as Executive Secretary of AAEA from 2017 to 2018. Before joining ECI, Sir has worked as the Chief Electoral Officer of the largest state of India, Uttar Pradesh, and has successfully conducted 2 national elections to Parliament and 1 general elections of the Legislative Assembly of Uttar Pradesh. Sir was conferred the prestigious Best State Award for Uttar Pradesh in 2019 by Election Commission of India. He wrote and composed many voter awareness songs in Uttar Pradesh. Envisioned by him, Hello Voters, a 24/7 web radio providing updated information on elections, has been hosted on ECI webpage in the year 2021. Sir joined the Premier Civil Services, the IAS, in 1986. In his long and fruitful tenure as a civil servant in Uttar Pradesh, he served at various positions and and took major reforms over there as well. To talk about his educational background, Sir did his MBA from University of Birmingham, United Kingdom, after completing BA Honours in Economics and post-graduation in Sociology from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. He was awarded JRF Fellow of UGC in Sociology and Anthropology. Besides this, he is an avid reader and writer, and to his credit, there are several publications that include, to name a few, Leap of Faith, The Journey of Indian Elections, Pledging to Vote, A Decadal Journey of National Voters' Day in India. And these are only a few of them. The list is so long. And as I said, the words will fall short of introducing Sir. But to begin with the program now, sir, I would invite Secretary CBSE Himanshu ji for his opening address.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to, first of all, I am very delighted to welcome all the students, teachers, and distinguished guests who have joined us for this important webinar on electoral electoral literacy today. A special word of appreciation to Sri Umesh Sinha, who is a distinguished expert in the field, who has graciously agreed to share his knowledge and insights with us. Sri Sinha's vast experience with the Election Commission of India is invaluable in guiding our young students to understand the electoral process and their civic responsibilities. The objective of today's webinar is not just to inform but to inspire students to take an active interest in our country's democratic processes. CBSE's vision is to nurture a generation that is not only aware of its rights and duties but is also ready to lead by example. Democracy is not a spectator sport, it's a call to action, a responsibility that we must all embrace. In line with the vision, I am pleased to announce the release of the guidelines for establishing electoral clubs and democracy rooms in schools. These guidelines are designed to provide a structured framework for setting up electoral literacy clubs, which will serve as platforms for students to engage in meaningful dialogue, critical thinking, and active participation in civic activities. I urge all schools to embrace these guidelines and set up these electoral literacy clubs and democracy rooms. These spaces should be dynamic, student driven platforms that encourage leadership, collaboration, and civic engagement. Teachers' guidance and mentorship will be very critical in making these clubs successful. I encourage all of you to work closely with local electoral authorities, involve students in real life projects, and create an environment where every student feels motivated to participate. And for students, I would like to mention that as future voters and leaders, they have a unique responsibility. I encourage each one of you to organize discussions, conduct mock elections, and engage in debates to understand the complexities of democratic governance through activities conducted in the electoral clubs and democracy rooms. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to Shri Umesh Sinha for joining us today and for his support in this initiative. I urge all of you to take this opportunity to learn, engage, and lead. Thank you, and I wish you all a fruitful and inspiring session. Thank you so much, Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I invite our esteemed speaker, Sri Umesh Sinha, for his address. So,
A very good morning to all of you. Uh, Respected Secretary, Mr. Himanshu Gupta ji, Dr. Pragya ji, all senior officials of CBSE, all principals, faculty members, and my dear students who are present and listening this talk on electoral literacy. First of all, I would like to thank Pragya ji for saying so many good words for me. I don't know whether how much I deserve it, but I can share with you that the subject of election lies in my heart, in the core of my heart. And in long 36 years of my active civil services, 14 years I have served with the Election Commission. 6 years I worked as a SDM and district magistrate, working as returning officer and district election officer. So I think probably this is the area where I have put in my best and learned and feel very connected to the subject emotionally, and as well as working on the ground in the field in the Election Commission of India. I would also like to thank here the Election Commission for giving the opportunity to lead various domains of Election Commission. And beyond the conduct of election planning, security management, sweep, which I have led for many years, sweep CS Pragyaji has already explained to you. This is the systematic electoral education, voter participation. So if you understand and you see the logo of sweep, then the V, which is the alphabet, is the one your palms are protecting the logo of Election Commission of India. So the voter education is a subject which is not a glamorous term. It is in the core of electoral process. And while deliberating on the process of voter education and awareness, it was found that probably the best place to start the voter education would be in the schools, because that is the place where the students are the budding voters. They are the future voters. They are going to be the first voters, first time voters, and that is the place where uh, we should try to establish the seeds of uh, the electoral process, and they must understand the importance of their vote. Why should they vote? I think it has there has been a deficit of voting, but still India uh, is the largest democracy, and despite the uh, large challenges and the various diversities and the challenges of weather diversity, India is treated among the committee of nation as the one of the best democracy and the best participation of voters in the democratic world. India has been the leader and the chairman of the all world election bodies also for a long period, and the leader of the various Asian forums also. This is for your information that how much respect and regard the democratic world has for India. And we have had interaction with about 100 countries, and they would always take India as a role model for so many things. uh, Even the electronic voting machine and the VVPAT, which has been introduced in India, it is one of the wonder machines where, if before it was introduced, you would see a lot of malpractices at the polling stations, and thanks to EVM and VVPAT, you can see, you can not only cast your vote, you can also see your vote, and this is the most transparent way of voting in the world. So, why should you know? Uh, First of all, there's always a question in mind: why should we know so much about the electoral process? And to reply this, I would take the cue from Himanshu's note, where he said that you are all the future leaders of democracy. So I would also like to say that all the students who are in the age group of class 9, 10, 11, 12, they are the beacon of light, they are the building block, they are the leaders of India. And I would say that you are all future of India. And the quality of your participation in the electoral and democratic process will determine the strength of the country, the strength of the democracy, quality of the democracy in India. And I'm very happy that CBSE has added a new dimension. This is democracy room. So apart from the electoral literacy club, the DR is also an important element. So you become a complete citizen, knowing your legislative rights, legislative process. You understand your own voting right, and why should you vote? What is the importance of vote? Why you should not only be a voter, but you should become a motivator. You should become a catalyst in your family, in your neighborhood, in your society. uh, to do that, you have to understand the whole process. Unless you have the knowledge of it, probably you will not be able to share this knowledge with the other voters and the in the community at large. So that is why the electoral literacy club is a concept where you understand entire process from end to end. You understand how a person when he or she turns 18 can become a voter. What is the digital process now, because the earlier we had the paper method of registering as a voter. Today all the modern methods of the mobile app, through website and online channels are now available, where all the facilities are there. Like you get the services from Flipkart, from the Amazon and other this thing. In the same way, it has become so seamless and so fast. And we also understand that students are the leaders, not only in this in the society. First of all, they are leaders in their own family. So all the decisions, कौन सा मोबाइल लेना है, कौन सा फोन, कौन सा इक्विपमेंट खरीदना है और कोई भी फैसले, टुडे ऑल दी decisions are taken by these teenagers, and then we as older persons, we are only listeners to them and take the decision. So why not take the decision of the society? Why not understand it and become a good educator yourself? uh, to do that, the electoral research, lot of resource guides and material has been provided by election commission. In due course it will be available to you, but online also, if you visit the sweep portal, you will get all the materials which you can see for yourself. uh, but you have to you have to learn in bits and pieces all these information and all the material which is provided to you. uh, I would also like to say that it's very easy to sow a seed, but to nurture a plant is very difficult. So when you are setting up the electoral literacy club, do set up with lot of proactivity. We need to have a proactive uh, teachers who are mentoring the electoral literacy club. You have a complete calendar of activities which are there, seeing the convenience of the students. You have the annual calendar, you have the monitoring process, and these materials which are given to you, they are only for the purpose of reference. By letting loose your own creativity and innovation, the students can do wonders themselves. We have been conducting national quiz at the election commission. It was online on TV. We saw that the kind of knowledge, the level of knowledge the students have is amazing. uh, you can have your own creativity, you can have your own poster competition, quiz contests, you can have your discussion, debate, essay writing. You know uh, you can have lots of activities which are the creative activities. You can also have healthy competition among yourself. You can create a a mock polling station in your school itself, and uh, take a role playing of all the activities. You yourself become the district election officer, the returning officer. Some of you become the presiding officer, set up a polling station in this school. Some students can become a candidate, some become observers, and have a very interesting, very lively role playing. So this will give you the idea. If you see the material, I would just like to explain that first thing is the wall magazine and the flip chart, in which the you see all the interesting information or important information, and that you can uh, s- uh, write it on a wall, or you can you can you can through the flip chart you can know all the important information. Then you have Suchi ki tayari. So, how to prepare a list, voter list, how to become a voter list, what are the different processes, what information is required, what documents are required. So, that is one thing which is there, and you can help your family members also and the other people also, especially the role of the young voters, the future voters is. Pragyaji, please stop me when I have to stop. Okay. So uh, your role will be very important for extending your support, especially to the women, to the persons with disability, to the senior citizens who are not able to be registered, or we don't understand the process of registration. You Some students have asked the question whether they can become a volunteer or not. Why not? Yes, we want that this should be a major activity of the schools, and especially the future voters become volunteer to support persons with disability and senior citizens at the polling stations. And there a good training which is provided at the district level, and we have are very happy that every polling station now you have 4 to 5 volunteers who are taken by the district election officer, and they assist the voters, especially the senior citizens and the persons with disability. So you can take that role. That also helps you understand the entire process. uh, uh, about the EVM and VVPAT, as I told you that the India was one of the first country to invent its own electronic voting machine. Uh, in ECIL, and then further ECIL and Bell, which are the two most prestigious electronics company of India. They are making EVM and what VVPAT. So you must understand these machines very well. They are designed to help the even the most illiterate person in casting the vote, and also through the VVPAT seeing the vote. You must rise above the any doubts, because sometimes some doubts are raised by the losers. You should always see what is the important information. All the information about EVM VVPAT is given to you on that. Uh, Also, the conduct of the election, how the counting process is done, how results are declared. So all these, and then everything is online today. It is digital, and you can see all the activities, and some of the fake news when you come to here. You can always authenticate through the district election officer's website from the election commission. Uh, uh, so During the election process, the electoral offenses are taken very seriously. Whether it's a case of bribery or the cases of the offenses influencing the voters on the name of their, on caste, religion, or other factors, or influencing at the polling station, or canvassing during the polling period. So all these are very well covered under the under section uh, various sections of the Representation of People's Act 1951, and namely 123 to 134. These are the various sections which attract offenses. Even under the Indian Penal Code, there are a lot of provisions, especially for the electoral offenses. So those uh, who indulge in this, they suffer, and a lot of, and the serious action is taken against them. Model code of conduct is a unique example here in India, and it is taken as a role model in the other democratic countries also. So you must understand the model code of conduct and how the system operates, which has evolved with the consensus of the political parties, and then it has been further been designed and carved out by the Election Commission of India. Uh, so. I would like to say that there's a lot to say on this subject, but it will more depend what you actually want to know. I would only always like to bring to your notice a pledge. Also, a story that when I was the chief electoral officer, I wrote this pledge, drafted this, and sent it to the commission, because on the voters' day, I thought this kind of pledge should be taken. I'm very happy that my draft was accepted by Election Commission of India. And today, on every 25th January, this pledge is taken. I would like to read out this pledge, because this is very, very important. That the pledge is that we, the citizens of India, having abiding faith in the democracy, hereby pledge to uphold the democratic traditions of our country and the dignity of free, fair, and peaceful election, and uh, to participate and vote in every election fearlessly and without being influenced by considerations of religion, race, caste, community, language, and any inducement. So इसमें तीन शब्द हैं, दबाव, प्रभाव और लुभाव. If you understand Hindi, so आपको you have to be above this. There should not be, nobody should influence you. You should take your own conscious decision. आपके परिवार में भी कोई कहे तो आप अपनी बात मानिए कि मेरे दिल में क्या है. सोचिए, समझिए, उम्मीदवारों को परखिए, जो आपको सबसे योग्य लगता है उसको वोट कीजिए. यदि आपको कोई योग्य नहीं लगता है तो एक प्रोविजन नोटा का भी है, नन ऑफ द अबव का भी बटन है, जो लास्ट बटन होता है. तो हमारे वोटर्स के लिए सभी तरह की सभी व्यवस्थाएं की गई है. इट्स अ वेरी रोबस्ट सिस्टम. India is a country where there is a one uniform election commission of India, which conducts the election of the Lok Sabha and the legislative assembly. At the same time, we also have the state election commissions, which conduct the elections of the local bodies, your municipal corporation, town areas, gram sabha. तो वो दोनों ही आपको चुनाव में आपको भाग लेना चाहिए यदि आप वोटर हैं. तो जहां भी आप वोटर हैं, आपको अपने वोट को वेस्ट नहीं करना चाहिए. एंड देन यू शुड ऑलवेज मोटिवेट अदर्स. बी ए गुड मोटिवेटर, गुड कैटलिस्ट इन द सिस्टम ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी. जैसे मैंने कहा, और एक बहुत ही अच्छा गाना है कि बच्चों तुम तकदीर हो कल के हिंदुस्तान की, जो हम लोगों से न हुआ वो तुम करके दिखलाओगे. तुम वही बुनियाद हो दुनिया के नए विधान की, बच्चे तुम तकदीर हो कल के हिंदुस्तान की. So you are the future of country. You have to be, I would also like to say 4 lines of my quote, because I used to write many songs and slogans. तो आपको एक आध छोटी चीजें बताना चाहूंगा कि आपको समझ और सजग और समझदार होना है. आपको जागृत और खबरदार होना है. आपको जात मजहब से ऊपर होशियार होना है और धन लालच से बचकर पहरेदार होना है. तो ये बात आपको अपने दिमाग में रहना चाहिए कि ये आपकी जो शुरुआत है, या ईएलसी को सेटअप करने के बाद जब आप इसको आगे बढ़ाएंगे, तब देखेंगे कि इसमें कितना मजा है, कितना आप कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं कंट्री के लिए. एक जगजीत सिंह की गजल है, बात निकलेगी तो बहुत दूर तलक जाएगी. तो आज मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ सीबीएसई को कि बहुत that they have taken this human cause for the country, and the schools which are and CBSE being the kind of motherboard for the entire country, and a large number of schools all over the country are affiliated with CBSE. So this will have a triggering effect. लगभग 1 लाख अभी भी ईएलसी डिफरेंट स्कूल्स में पूरे देश में स्थापित है, लेकिन जब आप इसको स्टार्ट करेंगे तो इसकी जो खुशबू है, वो इसकी आब है, ये दूर तलक जाएगी, और it will trigger in all the other schools. And when our young voters, our future voters, our new voters start voting and start motivating, and they become the informed and ethical voter, the country will further change. Our elections will become much better. More participant, even greater participation will be there. So I'm sure that a lot of good thing will happen. 2 लाइनें और बताना चाहूंगा कि एक गाना मैंने लिखा था यूपी में जब इलेक्शन हो रहा था, और उस समय 51% से ये जंप होके 69% पहुंचा. So we used to tell the voters कि आपको फर्स्ट डिविजनर होना है कम से कम, because that time even 51 to 60, going 60 was a tough task. So then I wrote a song कि घर में बैठे तू काहे अलसात हो, वोट काहे न दे जात हो, लाइन लगने में तू काहे शर्मात हो, वोट काहे न देने जात हो. तो घर में बैठना नहीं है, उसको छुट्टी नहीं मनाना है, वो एक देश का महात्योहार है, सबसे बड़ा महात्योहार, जो किसी भी कास्ट रिलीजियन रीजन के ऊपर है. देश के निर्माण का एक त्योहार है. इसमें सभी वोटर्स को भाग लेना है, और आपको खुद ही भाग नहीं लेना है केवल, बल्कि लोगों को ही मोटिवेट करना है. और आपके आसपास पड़ोस में कोई भी यदि वोटर नहीं बन पाया है, नहीं बन सका है, उसकी आप सहायता करें. जैसे आप अपने मोबाइल कंप्यूटर से घर में लोगों को सहायता करते हैं, उसी तरह से आस पड़ोस में भी लोगों को सहायता करें, और उनको इस महत्वपूर्ण योगदान के लिए जो मदद कर सकते हैं आप करें. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. If there is anything else, I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you so much, sir. अब हम queries ले लेते हैं. There are a few queries from the schools, so I'll take one by one. And before that, those schools which have joined us online, in case the children want to ask something from sir.
Most welcome.
Mamta Modern School, do you have any query? बच्चों, अगर आपको कोई query है सर से तो पूछें.
Good morning, Master. Sir, my question to you is, what do you mean by electoral offences?
Electoral, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, it is
Yeah,
audible.
electoral offenses are the offenses which are done to influence the election in several ways. One way would be bribery. अक्सर आपने सुना होगा कि पैसे लो वोट दो, कुछ गुडीज ले लो वोट दो, एक ऑफेंस है। और ये ऑफेंस ब्राइबरी के अंदर स्पेशल इसमें ऑफेंस है जिसमें एक्शन होता है आरपी एक्ट के अंतर्गत भी और इंडियन पेनल कोड में भी। उसके बाद यदि आप वोट मांग रहे हैं तो वोट अपनी योग्यता के नाम पे मांग सकते हैं, अपनी पार्टी के नाम पे मांग सकते हैं। आप अपनी किसी की जात पात रिलीजियन के नाम पे आप वोट नहीं दे मांग सकते। ये ऑफेंस है। किसी को डरा धमका नहीं सकते, किसी को इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं कर सकते। 48 घंटे का जो पीरियड होता है उसमें कोई मीटिंग नहीं हो सकती, पॉलिटिकल पार्टी मीटिंग नहीं हो सकती, पोलिंग स्टेशन पर कोई कैनवसिंग नहीं हो सकती है। तो एक माहौल जो न्यूट्रल, एक लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड माहौल बनाने के अतिरिक्त यदि कोई भी अनाधिकृत रूप से जो जो इलेक्शन लॉज है उसका अनुपालन नहीं करता है तो उसके खिलाफ मॉडल कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट में, उसके खिलाफ आईपीसी में, उसके खिलाफ रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ पीपुल्स एक्ट 1951, जैसे मैंने कहा कि 123 से लेके 134 तक नेमली बहुत सारे प्राविधान है। इवन जो पॉलिटिकल जो हमारे पोलिंग ऑफिशियल्स हैं, यदि वो किसी तरह से वोटिंग प्रोसेस में कहीं भी खुद दखल डालते हैं या कोई और किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी या किसी उम्मीदवार के साथ मिलके कोई वो कैंपेन में भाग लेते हैं या पॉलिटिकल प्रोसेस, तो वो उनके खिलाफ भी एक्शन है। तो कोई भी अधिकारी हो सकता है यदि वो पोलिंग प्रोसेस ड्यूटी पे है और यदि उसने अपनी अपनी जो लक्ष्मण रेखा है उसको क्रॉस किया।
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Next query we can take from Maharaja Agrasen School. You are not audible, bacha.
Mute probably.
Please check your mic. Okay, meanwhile, sir, we'll take another query.
Yeah.
If we couldn't vote on the voting day, what alternatives do we have?
Say again.
If we could not vote on the voting day, what alternatives do we have?
See, if you have not, there are different categories of voters who get the different facilities. But if you have to vote on the polling day, you have to poll on the polling day. जैसे आपका एग्जाम है, एग्जाम यदि आप निकल गया, आप सीबीएसई ने एग्जाम का डेट रखा, आपने नहीं दिया तो नहीं दिया, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको सेकेंड अपॉर्चुनिटी फिर मिलेगी, क्योंकि जो आप जानते हैं कि उसमें शेड्यूल्स होते हैं, पूरे डेट फिक्स होते हैं, एक्टिविटी फिक्स होती है, किस दिन पोल होगा, किस दिन उसका मतगणना होगी, किस दिन और उसका एक रिजल्ट निकलेगा। लेकिन ऐसे कैटेगरी के लोग हैं जो सर्विस वोटर्स हैं, जो हमारे डिफेंस फोर्सेस में, आर्मी में या बाहर जो एम्बेसी में काम करते हैं, उनके लिए उसके पहले ही उनको एक इलेक्ट्रॉनिक पोस्टल बैलेट की फैसिलिटी का वो है, तो वो उनको 2 हफ्ते मिलता है लगभग, जिसमें वो अपने वोट डाल सकते हैं और वो सीधे वो पोस्टल बैलेट के माध्यम से मिलता है। वो जो हमारे पोलिंग ऑफिशियल के हैं जो ड्यूटी पे जाते हैं, उनके लिए भी ये सुविधा मिलती है पोस्टल बैलेट। लेकिन पोलिंग डे गुजर गया तो गुजर गया।
Thank you, sir. Yes, Maharaja Agrasen School, please ask your query.
Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, my query was what type of activities can be done for conducting electoral literacy rate in school apart from conducting mock elections?
बहुत सारी एक्टिविटी कर सकते हैं. वर्ल्ड इज द लिमिट. आई एज आई टोल्ड यू दैट द स्टूडेंट्स आर वेरी क्रिएटिव, वेरी इनोवेटिव. और आप अपना जो टैलेंट है, यू कैन लेट इट लूज टू क्रिएट द अवेयरनेस मटेरियल योरसेल्फ. आप अच्छे अच्छे पोस्टर्स बना सकते हैं, अच्छे स्लोगन्स लिख सकते हैं, अच्छे सॉन्ग्स लिख सकते हैं, अच्छी पेंटिंग्स कर सकते हैं. प्रोसेस जो है उसके लिए पूरा मटेरियल आपको उपलब्ध कराया गया है. डिफरेंट प्रोसेसेस जो हैं, चाहे वो वोटर रजिस्ट्रेशन का पहला चरण होता है, वोटर रजिस्ट्रेशन का, उस रजिस्ट्रेशन में कैसे कैसे करना है वो सभी इंफॉर्मेशन आपको मालूम है. आप वोटर हेल्पलाइन ऐप पे जा सकते हैं, मोबाइल ऐप पर जा सकते हैं, आप नेशनल वोटर सर्विस पोर्टल पे जा सकते हैं, वेबसाइट पे, ईसीआई के वेबसाइट पे जा सकते हैं. वो और ये जितने मटेरियल है वो आपको स्कूल में तो अवेलेबल कराएंगे ही स्कूल की अथॉरिटीज, लेकिन उसके अलावा भी जो स्वीप वेबसाइट है उस पर यदि आप जाएंगे तो आपके जितनी फिल्में हैं, जितने लिटरेचर है, ये सभी आपके ऑनलाइन मिलेगा. प्लस डेमोक्रेसी एक्स करके एक बहुत अच्छा डिजिटल गेम है. आप उस पे ये दिस अ वेरी मॉडर्न गेम, डिजिटल गेम, and you can play and you can learn by the process of the gaming technique. तो निर्वा चित्रा है, आपको बहुत सारे प्रोसेसेस के ऊपर ये फिल्म्स हैं. तो different methods are there. So you use the resource guide and use your own. आप खुद डेलिब्रेशन करिए, ऐसे लिखिए, अपने बीच में डिस्कशन करिए. Schools are also encouraged to have a discussion forum. They can invite the election experts from the local area, from the district election officer or anybody. They can invite the media person who is aware, or the experienced political person. So any neutral person who is there, who tells you objectively what are the electoral processes, what are the other things, precautions. So all these things are available. You can use them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next query is regarding what are the some common challenges faced by first-time voters and how can they be addressed to ensure a smooth voting experience?
Well, see, as I tell you, the lot of changes have been brought in, and then the process has become very, very smooth at the polling station now. So earlier, now all the electors who are in the voter list, you should know that you have to be in the voter list first of all. So you check on the website also that whether your name is there or not. So once you become a voter, you get your own voter ID card. Now the uh, election commission sends you the complete kit, a letter, a guide, a voter guide, and your new colorful voter ID is sent to you. And then at the time of election, you get a voter slip also that gives you detail about the election. When is the vote? What 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 is the polling date, and all the details of the polling stations and your serial number in the polling stations. So you can go with the slip. If you have missed the slip, even then it is fine, because as you go there and you show your voter ID card, based on that you are provided a slip, and then you go to the polling station inside, and then you are allowed to cast your vote. You have to mark your attendance there in the register. So it's very smooth. The entire process now takes not more than 10 to 15 minutes. And so waiting time has also reduced because the verification and other process are so smooth. So first time voters, I think they should not face any problem. Rather, they should become a facilitator, as I told you, that they should become a good educator themselves. So those who in their family or neighborhood, they don't know about this, you will be able to explain all these things to them. Once you follow the schedule of the resource material, because I'm sure that the schools will prepare a annual calendar of activities, and all the steps of the election process will be taught to you one by one, and the good training will be provided, and lot of interaction will be there with the experts. So you will not face any problem.
Thank you, sir. So the next query is regarding the role of social media. What role does social media play in shaping public opinion during elections, and how can young voters ensure that they are getting accurate information?
Well, social media, is a double-edged weapon. You know very well. It's a very, very positive media where you learn a lot of information, update information. But many a time, the many people who want to misuse the social media and misguide the voters, give wrong information or influence. So anybody, any political party or any candidate who is misusing a platform, the action is taken against them by the election commission. But you should become a very, very a conscious reader of the social media. And if there is any doubt, you should confirm from the election. Every district election officer has its own website, and entire information is given there. So you know about the candidate, you can go through their entire information of the candidate is given. They give their educational profile, they give their, also the financial profile. If there's any case pending, criminal case pending against the candidate, that detail is also given. It is on the affidavit by all the candidates. So you can go through all the affidavits or details of the your candidates. Suppose there are 10 candidates in your election in constituency, and which you have to vote, then you can go and read their profile. Many times people try to malign other candidates by on others some wrong facts. So and try to give a very positive image of their own. So it is not only in there; it may be in other media also. But you should be conscious. You yourself go through all the documents, understand in doubt, and check it from the multiple media. I think there are multiple media. Uh, so that is, and they also authenticate. So there's also understanding of the all the these social media platforms. They have themselves resolved an ethic. So they have taken the model code of, they have come out with their own model code of conduct. So they also have their own authenticators. However, you should be a very cautious reader as far as going through the various media platforms.
Thank you, sir. The next question is about nota. What is the importance of having nota on the EVM, sir?
Well, it was agitated by some people, and that there should be a provision of none of the above, because we may not like any of the candidate who are contesting. So just to negate, this provision is not new. Earlier also you had the 49O where you could sign and you could not vote, but then the vote was not marked. Here after that the Honorable Supreme Court order also came on this. So none of the above was kept, was the Election Commission provided for one option, which is none of the above. So once you check the profile of the candidates, and if you are not satisfied or you don't want any of your candidate to become your representative, you have the option of using none of the above. That is nota.
Thank you, sir. Next question is about the young citizens who, if they want to actively participate in the democratic processes, what all they can do, sir?
That's what I said. The world is the limit. You can do. It depends how conscious, how aware you are, and how much you are motivated to motivate others. So, as I told you, that your own social media, the social media of the Election Commission of India, gives you so many opportunities to participate and become a good one slogan can be so motivating to others. हमारा एक वोट देश के लिए, हमारा पहला वोट देश के लिए, आपने सुना होगा इलेक्शन कमीशन का एक वोट, जब आप पहली बार वोट डालते हैं तो आप वोट अपने देश के लिए डाल रहे हैं, हमारा एक वोट अपने देश के लिए. So I'm proud to be a voter. Uh, no voter to be left behind. There are so many good, slogans which are there. You can write your own slogan to motivate people. You can write your own song. Jago Jago Desh ke Matdata. There are so many songs which have been made, written, composed by students, and all the schools have their own music society, and the teenagers, young students are lover of music. So you can let loose your creativity, write your own music. You can write your own, make your own painting, posters, and so motivation is a thing which comes from various tools and various platforms. You can use them. You can make, some of these students have made very lovely short video films to share the importance of vote. uh, सो जैसे वीमेंस पार्टिसिपेशन के ऊपर, ब्राइबरी के ऊपर, so I cannot sell my conscience. There's a film where the father comes taking some gift from some candidate, and then the daughter says कि आपने घर को ही बेच दिया, आपने पूरा अपना conscience ने बेचा हमारा. So then in that film the father was so motivated, and he felt so bad. उसने कहा कि नहीं नहीं. Then he throws the money and he says, no, I'll not vote on the consideration of money. So there are so many things which can be done by the best creative material has been brought out and given to the election commission by these young voters.
Right, sir. So nice to hear that, sir. There's one question regarding the reforms. What recent reforms have been introduced to improve the electoral processes?
See, one reform which is very major, that from voting from home. During the COVID period, it was found that many of the voters who were not able to vote, and then the people who are old and who are not able to come to the polling station because of their physical disability or illness, they may be provided the instrument to vote from home. So people above 65 years of age and the person with disabilities. So they were afforded this facility, and even those who are the COVID affected that time. So now also this provision is for the aged people. So they can choose to vote from home. In that case, their names are segmented and they are provided, and in rather polling team goes to their home and then help them cast their vote at the polling station itself, and then they bring their postal ballot. So that is a major change which has come. VVPAT, you are aware that VVPAT, introduction of VVPAT has brought such wonderful change of transparency. So people, some of people question that वोट हम डालते हैं, हमें दिखता नहीं कि वोट किसको किया. So now the VVPAT is an instrument. The moment you vote, immediately you see a slip coming in the window, in the illuminated window, and you see that who you have cast your vote. So and then a lot of the new concept of one nation, one election, which is also a very important concept, that instead of having repeated elections and the waste of resources, manpower, and also time, to save it, if we could have the India could have elections together, probably that will go a long way. But that is a process which is in the mooting. Maybe that in some time it will happen also in India.
थैंक यू सर. एक बहुत बेसिक फंडामेंटल सा सवाल हमारे पास आया है. व्हाट इज वोटर रजिस्ट्रेशन एंड व्हाई इज इट नेसेसरी? बट बिकॉज इट इज फ्रॉम अ चाइल्ड, सो it's a good question too.
Yeah, it's a necessary, because many people who are not eligible to, all citizens are not eligible to be a voter. So there are some disqualifications, especially you are indulged in certain crimes, and then you are you cannot become a voter. So for then you have to be of a certain age. uh, you have to be citizen of India. The large number of people who live in India, but they may not be citizens of India. So the first criteria is that you have to be citizen of India. You have to be 18 years of age on the date of qualification, and you should not be disqualified to be a voter. So if these three conditions are fulfilled, you come voter. So these are the people who can actually participate in the making of the nation. And so that is why it is necessary that people become register as a voter. And once they have registered as a voter, then only they can vote. Then also to have a person may have voting at different polling stations. So it is a unnecessary duplicate voters being created at different polling stations. Now you know that the now it is being linked with Aadhaar. So then the purity of the electoral roll will also be established. The deduplication will become has become much easier now. And then you yourself assist the election commission that if your name is there in various electoral lists at various places, then you can choose to become a voter at the polling station where you actually live, you generally live.
Thank you, sir. We'll take one or two questions from the participants. In case you have some questions, you can ask. So, Dayanand sir, thank you so much for giving us such a detailed explanation about the electoral processes and on the electoral literacy, sir. And with this webinar, along with this webinar, we also have declared the release of the guidelines on electoral literacy, which our Secretary Saab had stated in his address as well. So along with the webinar, there would be a guidelines which we uploaded shortly on the website, and the schools can use those guidelines for creating electoral literacy clubs in their schools and carrying out the activities. These are suggestive activities, and with today's webinar, I'm sure you would be this entire you might be having some insight about the entire aspect. And because this program is also on YouTube, you can always refer back to this program and to know what you want to do in your electoral literacy clubs. So thank you so much. And with this program, as we are running towards the end of the program, I would invite Joint Secretary Academic Shri Ali Lalji to present the vote of thanks now.
So let me thank you all, especially Pragya ji, Himanshu ji, Chairman CBSC, and all of you for giving me this opportunity to be with you. And at this turning point, I'm here. I'm very happy, and I hope that CBSE schools will will set a huge record, and all schools will take the ELCs in your schools as a role model. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Over to you, Lalji.
Thank you, ma'am. Respected Umesh, am I audible, ma'am? Okay, thank you. Respected Umesh Sinha sir, Secretary CBSE Shri Himanshu Gupta ji, Dr. Pragya M. Singh, Director Academics, distinguished principals, more than 5,000 teachers and students who have joined us through the YouTube link and direct meeting link. Good morning and namaskar to all. It is my honor to extend a vote of thanks on behalf of all the participants. I would like to express my deep gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Shri Umesh Sinha ji, for his insightful and engaging session on electoral literacy. His guidance has enriched our understanding and addressed many important queries from our students, inspiring us all to be more aware and active citizens. I would like to thank Secretary CBSE Shri Himanshu Gupta ji for taking time off from his busy schedule to be present with us here and for continuously motivating and supporting academic unit in its all endeavors. Your leadership is truly great and inspiring, sir. Special thanks to Dr. Pragya M. Singh, Director Academics, for gracing this program with her presence today and for her continued commitment to excellence in education. She has been a reservoir of ideas for all of us in academic unit. Uh, to our dedicated teachers and enthusiastic students, thank you for your active participation. It is your curiosity and engagement that make such sessions insightful. Once again, a sincere thanks to everyone for making this webinar a success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for being with us today, sir. We close the webinar now. Thank you.